Alright, in today's video, we're going to be talking all about the road going from Crested Butte to the Colorado 4-Pass Loop Crested Butte Trailhead. Alright, in this video, we're going to cover how long the road is, the types of terrain on the road, what type of vehicles could make it on this road, what type of vehicles cannot make it on this road, and also what to expect. I'm going to try to go into as much detail as possible on this because I know for me, I had a bunch of questions about the terrain on this road, what to expect, and there was a lot of hype created around actually this road to begin with. So, every time I would ask somebody questions, I would get, vastly different answers. As far as what to expect, people were saying that you may have to push rocks out of the way to get on, to get to the trailhead and things like that. So I'm going to be addressing everything. I'm going to share all my photos, all my videos, and everything that I can to help everybody get as much of an idea of what to expect as much as possible. Okay, so let's talk about length. The length of this road to get from Crested Butte to the Crested Butte Trailhead on the Colorado 4-Pass Loop is 15 miles. So this road is going to take roughly about an hour to drive. For me, it took me almost exactly an hour. I had Google Maps up the whole time, and the estimated time was 54 minutes, which was just about right. So the road number for this road is actually 317, and it goes from Crested Butte to the Crested Butte Trailhead on the Colorado 4-Pass Loop. So why might you want to take the Crested Butte route instead of going through Aspen to get to the 4-Pass Loop Trail? So for me, my reason was freedom. So when you go to the Crested Butte parking lot, or that area where you park your vehicle at, it's totally free. There's no reservations. It's, first come, first serve when you get there. You can stay there as long as you need to and leave whenever you want. So for me, I went, and when I went, actually, I wound up staying an extra day. Which was totally fine where I was at because, there's no reservations or anything like that. So when you take the Aspen route, you do have to get into reservations, things like parking reservations, taking a shuttle bus to get up there. I've ran into a lot of people thinking that they would have to cancel their trips because of reservation issues. Taking the shuttle bus, what's going to happen is it has certain times. So when you go, you're going to have to do the trail and then come back out by a certain time. If you don't come out by a certain time, you're going to wind up missing that shuttle, and you're going to have to stay another night until the next bus comes. So for me, the reason why I took the Crested Butte route was definitely freedom. So let's talk about terrain. The terrain on this road was actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Normally, when I would ask people, there was, anything ranging from pushing rocks out of the way to, a lot of different things. So when I was on this road, honestly, it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. It was not hard by any means, and there was actually a Ford Focus that followed me up to the trailhead the whole way from the very beginning. And Ford Focuses only have about 3.9 inches of ground clearance. So the type of terrain to expect is mainly potholes. Those are the main things that you're going to run into. There's a lot of potholes on the road. They're not crazy deep potholes, but there's just a bunch of little potholes everywhere. So, definitely for me, I took it easy on my vehicle. I didn't want to tear anything up or break anything while I was out there. So, if you're in like a Jeep, or if you're in a truck, things like that, you can breeze through it. But I have a 2008 Ford Edge that I took out there, which is all-wheel drive. But I just decided to take it easy because my suspension was not in the best shape. So that's the only reason why I took it as easy as I did. There are two sections that are, I would say, a little tricky, I guess you could say. So one section is you're going over some rocks. It's not anything too crazy, but I definitely felt my car flexing a little bit. And like I said, that Ford Focus followed me up the whole way. They got over it totally fine. So that's one section that you're gonna run into that's a little, I'd say maybe a little tricky. The next section is there is a shelf section of this road. So you can only fit one car at a time. So when you're going, you definitely want to make sure that you're paying attention, making sure that nobody's coming the same time that you are. But it's not as scary as it may seem or as it may look. So if you're going towards the trail, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hug the right side of that wall There's going to be a rock wall on your right. You're just going to want to hug that as much as possible. And then to your left, there is I don't know, I wouldn't say it's a sheer drop off, but it's an extremely steep decline on the left side. Also, once you pass the shelf section, what you're going to do is you're going to continue on just a little bit, and you're going to get to some switchbacks on the road. Now, there's no drop offs. It's not anything crazy steep. But you're just going to go down the hill a little bit, and it's going to do like 1 or 2 switchbacks, and then right after that your trail is going to be to your right, probably just a little, maybe like 45 seconds to maybe a minute after you pass those switchbacks. Right before I went out there, actually, I think it was about a week before I drove, and I had a 21-hour drive to get there. There was actually a little mudslide on the road. I didn't know if it was going to be cleared off by the time I got there. I didn't know if it was going to be too much for me to get over, but I actually wound up going ahead and going anyway. By the time I got out there, the road was totally clear. So they do maintain this road. This road is maintained because there are people that are on this road quite a bit. So it's not like some backwoods road that's never maintained and nobody takes care of. When you get to the shelf section, you can see ahead of you the vehicles that are coming. So it kind of goes around a little curve, and then you can see the vehicles ahead of you. So you know, they'll know to stop and let you come past, or you stop, let them come past. Either way, most people on that road are extremely nice, so everybody's gonna try to work out everything to where people can do everything extremely safe. So it had been raining for a while, like I'm talking days. So the whole time I was out there, it rained every day. It rained all night into the morning, and then it stopped for a few hours, and it would start back up about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it would rain the rest of the night. So on my way out, actually, there was a truck hanging off the side of the road. Now, what probably happened is this person maybe tried to move over for a vehicle so that 2 cars could fit past at the same time. Well, the problem is that this road is honestly too skinny to fit 2 cars comfortably. So he got way too far over to that right side, and because it had been raining so much, that dirt actually gave out from under the truck. How the truck didn't go off the edge, I have no idea, but it was hanging on just barely. So what type of vehicles can make it on this road? I would say, you know, you can take a wide variety of vehicles on this road. You know, I've seen in videos, I think I even seen in somebody's video, there was a BMW up there, and those vehicles most of the time are pretty low. There was a Ford Focus that followed me up there the whole time, and those are pretty low to the ground. So I mean, you can take a Toyota Corolla out there and you'd be fine as far as ground clearance. The type of vehicles that I would not recommend to take out there, though, is probably something that's been lowered, or if you have a car that's, you know, probably lower than 3.5 inches, I probably would be pretty careful about that. You know, there may be some, I'd say one section where you may have to navigate a little bit, which is that section where my car was flexing a little bit. But other than that, you know, I think a lot of people are scared about this road because there's a lot of hype around it. But honestly, it's really not as bad as a lot of people, you know, may make it seem. So as far as the times that the road is open, I believe the road may be open all year round. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure, so I really can't say. But my trip started at the end of July. So if you look on Google Maps, it'll say that the road is closed, I believe, from September all the way through the winter time into July. So one of my questions was, you know, was this road going to be open, you know, when I came at the end of July? Because it was still July. I didn't know if, you know, it was going to be gated off or it was going to be closed. But when I went, the road was open. There was people there. I believe there was people there, you know, mid-July, early July, that were taking, you know, the road out to the trail. The only time I would not recommend taking the road out there is if there's in a time when there's like heavy snow or wintertime, things like that. For stuff like that, the people out there have snowmobiles and stuff for that type of weather. So I would not recommend going out there at a time when it's going to be snowing or wintertime. So I'd probably say you'd be safe anywhere from like the beginning to mid-July all the way through, you know, the September time. Also, there's a Facebook group called Fort Pass Loop. There's a lot of people in there. You know, they do like updates on the trail, updates on the roads. That's how I kept track of what was going on with that road at the time. That's how I found out a lot of things about that road. So, you know, you can talk to a lot of people in there. Any questions that you have about, you know, the trail, you know, the road, things like that, there's a lot of people in there that can answer a lot of your questions. So traffic, how much traffic is there on this road? So, you know, when I was out there, I was actually pretty surprised because I thought this road was going to be something that, you know, nobody ever drove on. But actually, there was a fair amount of people out there. Now, it was not crowded, but there were occasional cars that were driving past. It was a little neighborhood that was out there with some cabins and stuff like that. So, you know, there's people out there that take this road. You know, when you're on this road, there's actually trails that veer off, you know, for people to walk on, bike on, and hike on, things like that. So there was people out there that were running, you know, on this road. There's people out there riding bikes on this road. Or there'd be groups of Jeeps that would pass by, or, you know, people in the Sprinter vans that would drive by. So the road it's fairly populated, but it's not overly crowded, and there's not a bunch of heavy traffic on this road. So there is enough people that use this road enough where they maintain the road. If anything goes wrong, they'll definitely get out there and fix it, mostly I believe in a timely manner.
Okay, so we're looking at a satellite view of the Crested Butte Road, Road 317, to get to the trailhead. So what it's going to do is you're going to come through. The way that I came was I came from this highway right here. This mountain right here, I believe, is one of the pictures that I had taken. So you'll continue on through the town. So this is going to be all street, all town through this area until you get to Road 317, which is right here where this orange marker is. After that, you'll continue on. It turns into a dirt road here. And then you have a great view of these winding rivers through this area here. So you'll just continue on. It's mainly valleys, little trailheads all throughout the way, people parked and biking and things like that all throughout this general area. From about here all the way to about like right here is smooth sailing pretty much the whole way. So the only tricky parts is like right at the very end. So here we're looking at the shelf section of this trail. So your shelf section is going to be I believe about from right here, right about in this area, to I believe about in this area right here, because I remember going around this curve. I think actually going around this curve is when it sort of starts, right around in here. So you're going to go through this curve area and you're going to keep going on, and you're going to get to about right here, and I think right there is when it widens off. There is, I believe, like a couple spots where you can pull off and let somebody pass, or somebody else can pull off and let you pass. One of the things I was mentioning earlier was Emerald Lake. What somebody recommended to me was there was actually a little dirt slide that happened in this area here, in one of these little areas. So what somebody recommended to me is to actually pull off down here and park in this little area here, like you see this car is doing right here. And if the conditions had happened, say something happened on that shelf road, by some chance, you could walk from here, from Emerald Lake, all the way to your trailhead, which is going to be right here in this area. So this road is saying that you're going to go this way, but it's not going to take you that way, because as you can see, there's no road right there. And the way that I came, I specifically remember going this way is where my GPS took me, and it took me straight to that trailhead. So I know it says this way, but it's not going to take you that way. So this area here is where the little switchback was that I was mentioning. It's not anything crazy. It's literally you just go down and around and back. So it's a little tight, but you have plenty of space for other cars, let other vehicles pass. Plenty of vehicles drive on this road all the time, so you won't have any problem there. Okay, so now we're moving on to looking at the parking lot. So this is where you're going to drive in from. I specifically remember coming over this little bridge right here. So you're going to come over this little bridge, and then you're going to wind up going to your trailhead, which is right here. So the trailhead is literally right here. And so cars park all through here. Also, there was cars parked all through here when I was there. I myself was parked right here, and there was cars parked all through here as well. So it's pretty much just pick a spot and find a spot. As long as you're not driving off into the woods or into any fields and things like that, you'll be okay. But there was plenty of people parking all in these areas here, so you'll have plenty of space to park your vehicle if you need to. So hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. If you enjoyed it, definitely give it a like and a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments section. I will get back with you guys. Definitely appreciate you taking out the time to watch this video, and I will be doing an in-depth review on the loop just like I did on this video, so keep an eye out for that. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely go check out the videos that I did on the actual 4-pass loop.